Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Martin, and if you've been following the channel so far, you know that we're trying to get a mortgage. After 16 years of living in Southeast Asia, I'm back in the Lake District, England. On this channel, I'll be sharing all the challenges I have faced coming back here. I talk about what I've learned from living abroad and how it's changed my outlook on life. If you want to join me on this journey, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And at the moment, we're waiting to try to get our medical insurance sorted out. So that's probably another video. A lot of challenges at the moment. But if it all goes through and we do get everything sorted out and we finally get a roof over our head as such, then, as I said previously, I need to get a job. So looking around at the moment, I thought maybe becoming an independent MP might be good. So the question is, why do people want to become an MP? So I started looking at what the benefits, what type of package would they get from a career point of view. So let's go through those today. You might find it interesting. As usual, I've got some notes. So I'm going to be an MP. UK MP pay perks, allowances, and let's look at the figures from April this year, because I think they got a little bit of a pay rise. So their core basic pay at the moment is £98,599. That's not too bad. They get some extra pay for some roles. Example, if they're on the select committee chairs, they get an extra about £19,000. Now the ministers, the speaker and other office holders receive more. For an example, if you look at the health minister, his extra salary takes his whole package up to around about £170,000. So, not too shabby. Then we have the pension. Now it's the defined benefit scheme. There's loads of bits and pieces about the pension. It's pretty good actually, how it's funded and etc. It's more generous than many private sectors schemes, and there's flexible lump sum options, etc. So salary's not too bad, pension's pretty good. So far so good. And then they get staffing and office support. Now I always wondered that, because I've dealt with MPs before face to face on an initial meeting, and then after that everything's taken care of by their assistants. So I didn't realise that they get a budget to employ staff, caseworkers, researchers and office support. Many staffing costs, including national insurance and pension, that's covered. Office costs, budget for rent, rates, equipment, utilities, phone, IT and stationery, etc. That's not too bad. So now I'm beginning to understand, when I was dealing with a couple of MPs many years ago, how all that is actually put together. So you're getting the staffing and office support, which is brilliant, absolutely amazing. And then we go on to the next perk, number 4, accommodation. So non-London MPs can claim second home support. So trying to get a flat near Westminster. So that would cover rent and some running costs. So basically, obviously if you live in London, you're not going to get this, but if you're outside London, you need to commute in, because you're going to spend quite a bit of time in Westminster. So typically historic caps are roughly around about 25k a year. Not too shabby, again. And then we'll move on to perk number 5. Well, I say perk, it's just part of the job. Travel and transport. Now, journeys between where they're actually based and the people they're supporting, their community, and getting to Westminster, that's all reimbursed. Because I thought they must spend a lot of time on trains. So also covers other bits and pieces, going, I suppose, actually, if they have to get into a cab and go to a meeting or something, it appears that that's also covered. Rail mileage, yeah, it does say here, sorry, in my notes. Taxes, when justified, air travel, if needed, and parking fees. Now that's going to be one of my pet hates. That's probably going to be another video. I've got 3 really bad pet hates, and that is one of them since I've been back into the UK. But again, I digress. Let's get back onto the next benefit. Number 6, other expenses. So they get general business costs, communications and training, professional services, House of Commons stationery and postage support. Pretty good, because I bought a second class stamp the other day. I think I nearly fell over. I think it cost me about 91p or something. Security related costs when needed, which obviously in this day and age is probably, they probably do need it. And then number 7, when they leave office, winding up, resettlement, payment when leaving office, helps with transition after an election or departure. That sounds pretty fair. And then let's move on to number 8, time off and their schedule. Now, parliamentary recesses, summer, Christmas, Easter and conference periods. I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, I think it can go up to about 16 weeks. So they don't actually get formal annual leave, but we know they take quite a bit of holidays, because in the past, when I've tried to contact an MP, they were on a holiday for 3 weeks. That's a long time ago. So obviously they take normal holidays. But then it's got here, MPs still handle some basic work and they do their surgeries and events during times of recess. Now I was looking into that because I looked at our local MP and I looked at the surgeries. Now I was a little bit taken back because there wasn't many. I mean, it wasn't like 1 or 2 a week. It was more like 1 or 2 a month. Anyway, let's move on. They've got no standard employee style annual leave, like we said, or sick pay structure as such. But I wonder how they actually monitor the actual time they're physically working in the role as an MP. That must be quite difficult. I suppose there's a lot of meetings and things like that. Anyway, number 9, subsidised perks. Access to Parliament, the Parliament catering, cafeterias, bars and restaurants. Oh, maybe they've got their own pub there, I'm not sure. Gym, library, IT support, and it goes on to the postal services again. So that's not too bad. You know, you could probably sit down and have a decent meal at a cut price. Then, number 10, extra opportunities. I've heard about this one. They can do outside earnings allowed, subject to certain rules, etc. They can do consulting, media work, directorships, and other work can always be possible as long as they follow the rules. They can do high profile, networking, and future career opportunities. Now, You have to remember, it's very important, all the expenses must be legit. I mean, we don't want them fiddling their expenses. Obviously, they haven't done that before in the past. Maybe that's another video. Claims are published by the IPSA for transparency. Now, the IPSA, I think that's the Independent Parliamentary Standards Authority, which I think may have been set up in 2009 because there was a bit of a scandal going on. Anyway, let's not digress. Total value varies by role, location, staffing and claims. So yeah, the overall package, like we said, it's 98,599. But then if you do all these other little bits, it bumps your salary up. Like I said, the health minister, what, 170,000? That's not bad. So yeah, and obviously, no doubt they'll be looking forward to the next pay rise next year. I would assume it'll take them over the 100,000 because obviously with the cost of living and everything, how does one survive? So there you go. Not a bad salary. So leave a comment below if you think they deserve that amount of money, or leave a comment below if you think they do not deserve that amount of money for doing the job that they do. Okay, have a great day and bye for now.